Boy, it's cold out here, and I wonder what today is going to bring for this project. Well, look at this. I got my paint out here, and I'm pretty sure this was the paint that I used for this job. And I was quite surprised that the stucco patch, the stuff that was left here at the house when we purchased the house, it didn't seem to blend in color-wise. We even had two different colors of the stuff, and one is a little bit light and one's a little bit dark. But on the light stuff, you look up high on the house, that could be the same color as that. But you know, when down in here, it looked like they used two different colors of that. But I did have the paint. I did have matching paint, and the paint was actually for this here and the rails and stuff. And I remembered, I'm pretty sure I remember using that paint for the side here and for painting this. I even kind of painted this little section of wall here and with the same paint to get it to blend in. And I even put some over here with the paintbrush, and it looks like I didn't do a very good job, huh? Because there's different lines of it and stuff up to there. I might end up repainting the stucco wall while I'm here with a paint roller or something. But for the time being, I'm going to take a paintbrush to it. And before I do that, I just wanted you to see the stucco patches now that they're all dry and everything and blended in. See how well those came out. And that's why I wanted to do it before I put the aluminum stair treads down. I didn't want to have to do this over the aluminum stair treads. And on top of that, I thought I might as well get the painting done, because I don't want to do that after the aluminum stair treads get done either. And after I get the aluminum stair treads done, I'm going to put a clear, 100% clear silicone down here between the stair tread and the riser of the aluminum. After I get it done, you'll see. And on the sides, I don't know if I'm going to put clear silicone there, or if I'm going to use the same caulking that I used for everything else from before. And if I do use the same caulking, it's not going to be the right color, is it? It's going to be that light gray color. But that's okay. I can still use that along the edges, you know, boom, 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 along here. And if I do it really nice, a nice bead, then I could take my paint again and paint over just that little bit. But I actually wanted to not wait until then to do all the painting for the stucco. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna end up doing today. And I don't know if I'm gonna show you too much of painting with the stucco, but I probably will. You know, and I don't know exactly what I'm gonna use just yet. For cutting in and stuff, I'm gonna use one of my throwaway paintbrushes. I'm sure, you know, that my 2-inch throwaway paintbrush, or my, do I even dare use this crappy one for cutting in? I don't think I'm going to. I do have a new a new throwaway paintbrush. I could use my cut-in paintbrush too, but I think I'm gonna use just my throwaway paintbrush, and I'll probably use you know, one of my little paint trays that already have paint in it. You know, I can dump the paint in there and use that and that. But one more thing I wanted to show you. When I put that stucco patch on, after I put it on, I just put it on with this crummy little putty knife, and I put it on kind of like you would putting spackle on a sheetrock wall. That's all I did. And I got it on there, and then once it started drying, then I went back with my paintbrush, because when you have all of this wet, there's no way you can blend in along this edge onto here, you know. because there'll always be a fine edge there. Well, as the stucco's drying, then I just took my paintbrush, my crummy paintbrush, and hit that edge, you know, like that, and blended it in. You can't even really tell, other than the color-wise, where that stucco patch was. Once I paint that, it's all going to blend in. And you know, by putting the stuff on with the putty knife, it makes it pretty smooth. And as it's drying, you know, after I hit the edge in here with the paintbrush, as it's drying, then I just took my paintbrush and roughened up this top surface, and it actually did really good. And then, I mean, I even tried my putty knife and kind of worked it a little bit, and you can do it that way too. And then just before it's 100% dry, I could see some little edges where I needed to kind of just flatten down the top just here and there, and that's all I used. And when I did this patch, remember I had a nice big patch right here, and the stucco was loose and everything. Looks good now, doesn't it? I used this. That's all I used when I did that. And on this side, the patches were a little bit deeper than on the left-hand side. I only put one coat of the stucco patch along here, okay? But over here, where it was deep in certain areas, I actually put one coat over everything, and then I let it dry, and then I came back up and I put a second coat on, blended it all in, and man, that turned out really nice. I'm really liking that. Okay, so now it's time for me to paint, and you know, it's about 1:30. Sun's over the other side. It's getting cold out here. I got my sweatshirt with me and stuff, and I'll get it done today. No problemo. I haven't gotten into the paint. One more thing about painting. After I cut everything in, I'm gonna look at the side of here from here to here, because I ended up hitting this little bit with the paintbrush from before, and I hit a couple other spots and stuff. So when I get all done, I may, to blend everything in, I might just take my paint roller and do this whole edge of this column, and after I do, after I paint along there, I'm going to see how well the paint blends in from here up. Now, as I remember, after I cut this in before, I ended up just putting a thin coat from here down, just so it doesn't look like a patch. The same thing over here. The paint could maybe not blend in with everything else, because I tried to just whisk it on here from before and stuff. So after I get all that, I may go the extra mile and do this whole edge, you know, all the way down this edge and all the way along there, and do that. And that way your eye won't see that you did any patching, especially if your paint doesn't match 100%. You know, I think the paint's going to match really good though, but I'm just telling you, if it doesn't. And see, I did a little bit here, and I saw that a little bit needed to be done up in here and up higher along there, so I did that. So when I paint this, I may come up to about here and kind of taper it in here, so I don't see this like that. And same thing in there where I did that. I might blend it up at an angle just a little bit and flow it into that column, because there's no way, I don't want to repaint this whole column, because then it's like, where do I stop and start? Especially this column here. Do I want to paint that whole column? No, I don't. But if you're having a hard time with your paint, if your paint's not exactly matching 100%, you could paint the side of this column, you know, up to the bottom portion of that header beam up there, and then go up around there, and then fake it in from there up. Don't even do the rest of it. You see what I'm saying? And then on this, you could do that. You could paint this edge. You there's lots of things you can do if your paint doesn't match 100%. It's not like you have to repaint everything. So think about that if you don't get your paint to match. But you know, if you do get stucco patch, and if the stucco guys leave you some stucco patch, make sure if they had some color in it, make sure you know exactly what that is in case you ever have to order some more. You get the exact same thing. So if you ever have to do any patching at your house or something, you can, and you won't have to worry about dipping back into a paint bucket. Remember that. Now see, if you watched, hopefully you watched that other video that I did, you know, this was the stuff that I used for here, USG exterior textured finish, and the previous owner saved this for me, and this bucket, no joke, is over 5 years old. There's still from here down left. This stuff lasts for a good long time, as long as you have your bucket lid sealed on there tightly. This stuff lasts, let me tell you. And the other stuff I decided not to use, but I could use it if I ever run out of this for stucco patch. This is stucco patch too. This one's called Drive It, and that just happened to be the color Mojave. And this was a little bit darker. So I don't know if that was when they built the house years ago, and then later on, you know, before we purchased the house, maybe 3 or 4 years before we purchased the house, maybe they decided not to use that, and they decided to use this on the exterior after when they painted. Maybe they repainted the whole exterior of the house, and then they used this for the stucco patch, and they put some paint in it too, and then they use that. So you know, there's different ways for stucco patching. This isn't all the type of stucco patch that they have, but this stuff works really good. So if you ever get a chance, Drive It and USG exterior textured finish, and they use that for stucco, and it works out just mighty fine.